Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Just after the daily candle closed, half an hour ago. And if we take a look at what kind of candle it is, just need to go to the daily chart, zoom in a bit. And we had a bit of a red candle, but indecision candles here all over the place, yeah. With wicks to the upside and the downside. It's just like walking on ice here. The market is really waiting for the Fed to make their decision. The thing is, probably the Fed will anyway raise the interest rates by 25 basis points. So that's pretty much, I wouldn't say clear, but that's what the market expects. We don't seem to see a lot of movement here. And yeah, it looks a bit like as if we had an Elliott Wave triangle or some kind of triangle here in which the price is moving. Therefore, we've got a descending trend line, we've got an ascending trend line. We just need to wait for the breakout here. That's what you do when you have a pattern. You need to wait for the price to make a move to break out of the range, so that you can continue to make decisions for yourself. Because as long as we are in a range, the market is basically just hasn't made up its mind yet. That's essentially what triangles are. They are patterns of indecision. The market doesn't know what to do. Up and down, it tries to do all sorts of things at the same time. And what we have though is decreasing volume, decreasing volatility. That is typically what you see in a triangle. And then when we have a breakout, eventually you will see a lot of volume and we see a lot of volatility. So let's see. I mean, this apex, getting into the apex here, this could still carry on for a couple of days, to be honest. But I hope that we get out of this range ideally tomorrow towards the end of the weekly candle. By the way, with regards to the weekly candle, this obviously hasn't closed yet. Let's also take a look, while things are a little bit boring, what is the weekly candle doing? So currently the weekly candle is green. It's a bullish candle. However, we had quite a bit of a rejection from up there at 23.8K. The bullish candle opened at 22.7K, 22,714.81 to be exact. And as long as we stay above that level, we are going to close with a bullish weekly candle. I mean, with regards to this pattern, you would reasonably assume it's a triangle. Ideally, out of such a consolidation, you would expect a move to the upside. And currently, we're holding the support area, and there are a few different ways of how this could be structured. I mean, we talked about, you could enter in this support area here, and that might be an interesting trade setup. So anybody who entered here is now in profits again. If you got stopped out, maybe at break even, you can move up your stop loss again. That's how the game works, depending on what kind of time frame you're trading. Some people don't like to use stop losses at all. It depends on your risk, right? If you have a spot position open, you might not need a stop loss necessarily. It's all up to you eventually. But the situation that we have here is this certainly still could be a breakout preparation for the upside in this fifth wave. And this would most likely be an ending diagonal in the wave 5 that would represent exhaustion of the price of the bulls, yeah. And an ending diagonal would be a 5-wave move, but each of the subwaves would be ABC. That would explain the choppy structure. A, B, C in wave 3, then wave 4 and wave 5 could finish all of this, and then we could wait for our wave 4 retracement, pullback trade, get in and trade the wave 5 of 3 to the upside. Yeah, so that's sort of what I'm looking at here. If we have a triangle, that wouldn't make a great difference. You also have the possibility of counting this as an Elliott Wave triangle. Again, also here different possibilities. For example, we might say we had here an A wave of the triangle, the B wave, the C wave, the D wave, and the E wave. We could then break out to the upside. There are also other counts possible where only this is the triangle. Don't get too confused with the lower level wave count. It doesn't make a difference anyway. We won't know until afterwards. What is relevant is the pivot point here that the Elliott Wave method provides us, this decision point, this support area. Yeah, this goes all the way down to, well, the fib level is 22,658, but we broke it already. So I moved the key support down to that lower green area here with the previous low basically around 22,500 50. So as long as that is holding, it's fine. We can still push higher in this diagonal or triangle. If we break to the downside, it suggests that we get into this green support area, which is the major bullish support area for the larger pattern. Starts from 19,990 and goes all the way up to 21,750. And that's still where we are. Yeah, it's a bit boring. But also I wanted to explain once more that there is another pattern. We talked about that yesterday, another way of counting this. That would be basically an alternative count. Yeah, this is currently what I'm following mainly, but there is also an alternative count. So you can see off this November low, this as a wave 1. Also in the alternative count, this would be a wave 1, then here a wave 2. However, I would count then the wave 3 here, the wave 4 here, and the wave 5 here. So it would then complete as a wave 1, and we would come down in a wave 2 that would provide a different support area here. And we could then rally in a third wave. Yeah. So this is, however, not the most likely count. I explained that before. This is a possible count, but more due to experience than pure Elliott Wave rules, I don't consider this the main wave 4. Yeah, because it's just not strong enough. It's too shallow. It's just too shallow, and it looks more like a wave 4 of the sub count. But we need to keep an eye on that. This would provide us with a lower support area. So we just need to be ready for that, but it's not primarily what I am following. And unfortunately, the support area would basically start at the lower end of our primary support area. Would start at 20k, would go down to 17,925. What that means is eventually that we are following here the primary count. Ideally here we don't go below 19,990. If we do, next key support will be at 17,925. Because below the 78.6 fib, it's most likely going to break down and we continue with the bear market. However, my job is to give you what I believe is the most relevant support area, the most relevant count, the most probable count. You should know about this one, but I'm mainly following the other one. And the price action here suggests currently that we could still get another leg to the upside here, certainly, and maybe even one more. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm following here for Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.